So much fun. Looney to Curry. Curry the three. Beverly the foul.
What's up, everyone? Today we are covering the zoom action. This is one of my favorite actions in basketball, and it is a great way to free up a shooter. So we're going to discuss what the zoom action is, how and why it works, some different types of footwork to come off of it, and at the end, you are going to get a free playbook. So if you're a coach, this is a great way to start implementing the zoom action into your offense. All you got to do is hit the link under this video to download the free playbook. We'll send it right to you. No strings attached. It's free. It's yours. Again, really appreciate you checking out our YouTube. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the link below. And let's take a look at the zoom action by Coach JB. Let's get it.
The zoom action is when a player receiving a pin down from one teammate immediately goes into a dribble handoff from another teammate. In short, it's a pin down to a dribble handoff. So we're going to focus on the highlighted athlete. Here, this athlete is going to receive a pin down screen, and then they're going to run off into a dribble handoff. This is the zoom action that we're referring to. You'll see that he can score at all three levels off of this action. So he shot a three, here he takes it to the basket, and in our last clip, he's going to pull up for a mid-range jumper. So you can use this in a variety of ways. Let's check out some more clips live so you can see how it flows in the game.
Fournier, 3-4 dribbles.
Last 3 games, Clyde, he's averaging as J.J. Redick. Quickly back up to Joel Embiid. Embiid coming off an excellent game scoring.
Now let's talk about how and why this action works. First and foremost, because there's a screen, it automatically forces communication. Secondly, the man receiving the ball is in a full-out sprint to receive that dribble handoff. So if you can create contact on that screen, you're now forcing two big defenders to guard and communicate against a guard who is sprinting into their shot. So it's very difficult for them to guard that. But again, it's the screen and the sprint that creates that initial space. And then afterwards, now you can see that the guard is able to find areas to move into in order to get up a shot. So we'll look at it one last time. Here again, space created with the sprint. And then we see more space created with the initial pin down. And then lastly, if you can create contact on the dribble handoff, you get even more space for an easy shot. And we already briefly spoke on this. Your defender is playing help defense when this is initiated. So notice their eyes are not on you. So once you go to sprint into this, they have to rotate to get there. So there's your space. And then once you get that dribble handoff and that screen is there, you get more space that you get to score in. Now let's talk keys for success. So first and foremost, being able to sprint and come off tight on screens is going to help you out a lot. So you're going to have to make sure that your defender is running into screens and then having a mid-range jumper. Now the analytics people will tell you that mid-range jumpers and scoring at all three levels doesn't really help. But if you work in the zoom action enough, a mid-range jumper is definitely going to help you out.
Gotcha.
Here's Chineo Gumake. The handoff to Lexi Brown, the curl, the shot.
Now we talked about scoring at all three levels. Being able to attack bigs in one-on-one scenarios, going downhill and finishing at the rim is huge. Tyrese Maxey likes to use a floater on a regular basis. Now another key to this is that it gives you that space so the defense is trying to recover, so you're probably going to pick up a lot of fouls as well. But again, if you're on a team that's using the zoom action a lot, working on your layup and your finishing package is going to be key to your success. And then of course there's the three ball as well. And really what's huge with this is the footwork, being able to use different types of footwork in order to get your shot off. And we're actually going to listen in on an interview with Cam Johnson and J.J. Redick as they talk about the importance of working on different types of footwork in order to get your shot off.
I remember, I'm not going to name his name because I really like him. I think he's a good dude. But I remember one of my coaches, my rookie year. It was before my rookie year, and I was shooting spot shots after practice.
Yeah.
And he comes over to me, and he's like, you should plant your left foot before the ball goes there and then step with your right foot as you catch it and go up and shoot.
That would essentially stop your momentum.
Every single time. And I asked him, I said, no offense, but how many times in a season am I actually going to shoot that way? I might go 5 or 6 games without shooting with a left foot planted right foot. So when I would shoot spot shots, and this is what I drives me crazy when I watch guys shoot spot shots, they do the same footwork every time.
Ooh, I'm big on that.
Every single spot shot I would shoot, and I didn't shoot a ton.
Too.
I shot a lot on the move, but it like teaches your brain to just habitually and naturally do your footwork differently on every shot. Because every time, like I come off a pin this way, you shoot the gap, I got to do something different with my feet. I don't have to think about it, though.
I get asked that question all the time, right? And I had a coach in college that was very stickler on left-right footwork. So we worked it. But over time, I became of the mindset that you have to have them all, and you have to have them all readily available, because in a split second, you have to be comfortable choosing the one that's the most efficient, that gives you the best balance, that gives you the best elevation, that gives you the best chance of making the shot. So if I'm doing spot shots before the game, I'll go left, right, I'll go right, left, I'll step back toward away from the hoop, I'll step, on a jump stop, or I'll just be feet planted. And my thought process is that I need all these in the game. I need to feel comfortable using any of these footworks at any given moment. So that's why I do it.
Lastly, we're going to go over some variations. This is the double zoom. So it's going to be initiated with 2 pin downs, and the ball handler is going to choose which one he's going to use. The cool thing about this clip, the cutter decides to reject the screen, so the screener comes and gets the handoff instead. Really cool wrinkle there. Next, we have the zoom cut. For this, the screener is actually just going to run into the area instead of popping their feet and setting a screen. Notice that the first defender is trying to communicate, the second defender is trying to communicate, and it just leaves them wide open. So it's forcing that communication, which really helps. You'll see it again in this clip. Notice that the big is just going to cut into a different area, and it brings her help defender with her. And now once they come off of this handoff, it's one-on-one with the big, and that's where that layup or finishing package comes into play. Zoom middle is just having that screen or that pin down being set in a different area on the court. So it gives you different angles to work out of. Here you can see that when they come off of the pin down and receive that handoff, it's into the short corner. So it just gives you different looks on the court and makes the defense guard you in different ways. So forcing them to communicate and forcing them to guard in different areas. Here we have zoom tight. So now it's just a tight pin down instead of a wide pin down. And again, just forcing that defense to guard you in different ways. And anytime you could force the defense to communicate and guard multiple actions, you're going to be in a good spot. Zoom stagger is exactly what it sounds like. You're going to use a staggered screen instead of a single pin down, and usually that can give you more space, better scoring opportunity.
Here, Jalen Cone. Here's Newell against Denson.
Now lastly, as we said in the beginning, if you want a free playbook with some of our favorite Zoom or Chicago action plays, all you have to do is click the link in the description below, and you're going to get this free playbook sent to you. And don't forget, show some love. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications so this way you know exactly when our next video drops.
30 home games against the Sixers.